What's good, y'all? I'm Nick,
I'm black.
and we just watched The Blackening. Before we say what's real, please support us by liking, subscribing, and commenting below what movies you want to see us do. The Blackening. What'd you think?
You know, man, like, you like the black stereotypes, you're gonna love this movie, right? That's how I feel about it. Like, all this movie was black stereotypes, left and right? I mean, from beginning to end, in my opinion. Just all stereotypes of black people. And to be honest, I laughed a couple times. A couple times they got me. But for the most part, a lot of the stuff wasn't hitting. And if you want to see any type of horror in this movie, this ain't the movie for you at all. Okay? This is not, we got really one true death in this movie, other than the slashers who got killed. Like, that we actually got to really see. Like, we saw Sean, like, get it in there. I was thinking in the beginning of the movie, I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of dope, because we got to see it. We got to see the blood. You know, it was kind of cool. But, like, I don't know, like, there wasn't really, like, adversity in this movie for, like, all of them basically lived. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of them really lived, right? So, it was like, if you like the black stereotypes, it's a good comedy horror. For me personally, I wasn't laughing at this movie very often. What you got? What you got?
Times like this, I really should not go in movies blind. Because I said, oh, it's a black movie, I'm just going to go watch it. I don't watch trailers. That should be, something that's common that you should know. I don't watch trailers, so I just go in these things. I didn't know if this was a horror movie, comedy. I didn't know anything. I knew Melvin Gregg was going to be in there. I like him as an actor. I like the girl from Insecure. I don't know her name.
Yvonne Orji.
Yeah. I like her character. So I was like, all right, bet. I'm going to watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I hated this movie. I hated it. And not because, like, the stereotypes, like, they were lame. They weren't hitting them, in my opinion. The thing I hated was I felt so bored. And the thing they tried to make as a twist was not even a twist, because it was so disgustingly predictable. I mean, I get it. Something's supposed to be funny, but don't waste our time by just bullshit. Like, that's what I felt like. As soon as they showed the nerdy guy, you just knew he had no reason to be there. So, he's in on the killing people.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
that was definitely predictable.
I don't know. It's an hour in, I'm sitting here getting just picking out my nails, trying to figure something to do. It's just, I did not enjoy this movie, and I want to support black people. So I want to support black movies. So I watch it, but this was not it. I laughed maybe a few times. But other than that, what was the goal of the movie? So when you go in a movie, like, this is what this movie is supposed to accomplish. What was this? It just felt like a waste of time.
Well, I feel like the goal of the movie, and I'm not trying to be funny, the goal of the movie was to show you, basically, there was a game. So boom, you had that game, The Blackening. It was talking about how racial it was, the racist, the undertones. There was a lot of that in it. The two white guys who were rednecks, and you saw the Confederate flag, and
why would they work for a nigga? Come on, bro. That's why I'm like, why?
Yeah, but it was an Uncle Tom type of nigga. Let's get that right. It was an Uncle Tom type of nigga. It wasn't. I voted for Donald Trump twice. You know what I mean? Like,
that was funny, bro.
You know what I mean? Like I said, there was a couple funny parts. I don't want to just say this movie was like, very bad or awful. Like I said, I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this movie because it was like a black stereotypes, right? It gave you all the black stereotypes you could want. You got them playing spades. Everyone knows we like to play spades.
I'm a big spades player. I love spades. And that was one of the best parts about it. They brought in spades. It's kind of, because a lot of black people, the newer generation, don't know how to play. So
it's for the old school.
They need to get it together. So, and I'm going to be picky, but do black people do Molly? That was shaky to me.
That didn't make any sense to me, because black people do not do Molly. That's not something that you hear about black people doing.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, they couldn't bring up, like, weed, or I'm just like, Molly? That's the punchline for drugs.
It actually wore off pretty quick, if you ask me.
Oh my god!
Anyone want to talk about that? How it wore off pretty quick?
Yeah,
we saw Dwayne do that one little dance, that little thing, and then it just wore off.
And they didn't even make the kills like raw. Like the kills were bland. A bow and arrow?
Yes, bro.
That's what we doing?
Hawkeye?
I'm like, if y'all really want to get scared, you could have used a noose. Like you could have. That's what I'm saying. If you really want to, just do some shocking shit, bro. Don't. This was boring, bro. A crossbow. They could have had a chainsaw. They could have did anything. You had a racist. The game was like racist. It had the black face on it. So using a noose or something wouldn't be like, oh shit, that's super offensive. You starting off with blackface. That was highly offensive. I didn't like that shit. I hate seeing that. Every time I see it, it makes my stomach like,
I just, like, when it comes to like horror movies, I know this is like a comedy horror, but like I said in the movie, and like you just said, right? They have more than usually one thing they use, right? Yes. Like all they used was a bow and arrow, and then they couldn't even fight, bro. We saw when they didn't have the bow and arrow, you saw what King was doing. King was tearing them up. He was tearing them up, bro. They couldn't even fight, bro. Without the bow and arrow, they weren't shit.
King was tearing them up with one arm, bro.
Yes, bro.
It's just.
Oh, by the way, shouldn't have King been dead?
Oh. When dude got hit in the head with the arrow, he should have been dead. No one's stopping the arrow with their hand.
Yeah, and he got up.
And so during the movie, I'm gonna say Molly because I'm sorry, but Molly, they told them play the game or she's gonna die. They snatch out the wig, ha ha ha, whatever. She is dead. They killed her. 20 minutes in the movie, they say, oh, we gotta see what happened to them. They died. They died. I'm like, both of them died. So they was looking for them. Like, what is the point of that? Like I said, I was low-key miserable because I'm like, let's just get this shit over with. It was low-key ass. And I like supporting my people, but
I'm just one of those people that I'm just not, like, the black stereotypes, they're funny for a little bit, right? But then after a while, it's like, it's an hour and a half into the movie. Even at the end, should we call the cops? It was like the whole movie, right? There was no really serious. Anytime there was supposed to be a serious thing, it became a joke. Like at no point were you thinking this is a horror movie anymore. It's like it was like a spoof. Like it was like a parody of a scary movie. It was like if that was the point of the movie, then they did a good job. But
tell me how this skip Netflix? How did this skip Netflix? I've seen worse on it. I mean, better on Netflix.
I think this should be on Shudder.
Oh, maybe what's the other one?
Amazon Prime, Shudder.
Honestly, I think if you go see this movie and you enjoy it, that's good for you. This is just not my cup of tea. If you're gonna do something that's stereotypical, it's just I want more spicy. I want more like take more risk. That was kind of soft. Like a lot of shit, they could have really like took it there, but it's just like a lot of let's just say this little weak ass joke, and this is gonna make people laugh. And
to be honest with you, in the beginning, I thought it was promising. That's when I see my girl from Insecure. I'm like, okay, yes. Yvonne Orji. I'm like, this is gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? They talking about Juneteenth party. I'm seeing spades. I'm seeing old boy make some drinks. I'm like, okay. And then the more and more we got into it, the more and more I started seeing stuff I wasn't really messing with. It just was, to me, it just kept on trying too hard. It kept on trying too hard, man. It was trying too hard. What's your rating on this? What's your rating?
I'm going to go 4.5.
I think that might be the lowest rated movie you've given on Say What's Real since we started.
I'm going to be honest. This shit felt like the worst movie I've seen all year. And I didn't even want to say that because it's a black movie, but I'm sitting here watching like, nigga, can we?
So I think this movie is good enough to be on like Hulu. And it's funny I'm gonna say that because Nandi, who's played by Cynical Walls, played in the movie White Man Can't Jump, which is on Hulu. He should have recommended to the director Tim Story to put this with White Man Can't Jump on Hulu. So
no. White Man Can Jump was way better than this shit.
That's because you were at home.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go 5 out of 10. That's as high as I can go on this one.
I sound like I was worse on it, and you just went half a point above.
You know me, like, listen,
I thought you were gonna say 6.
nah, this ain't no. For me to give it a 6, that means it was passable. This was not. This was like average to almost like you. 4.5 is below average.
And I know we're wrapping up. Just a quick question: how was the acting?
I told you already about old boy. He's always dry for me. He does nothing for me. I would say, I'm trying to think who. I mean, the guy who played Clifton.
Yeah,
that was
he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
He was good. I'll give it to him. He was good. Everybody else, they were okay, and I definitely couldn't tell that Lisa was a lawyer. So these are things that you don't.
Yeah,
these are things when you find out, you're like, Lisa's a lawyer? Yeah, no. So most of the acting, Oh, one last thing. And what was in the beginning, the diction in this movie? When she told, in the beginning, when Yvonne Orji told Sean, her man, I'll touch your penis. No one talks like that. Females do not talk like that to no damn man, dog.
Black women don't talk like that.
They don't.
That's why I was like.
No, not only black women. Women in general don't talk like that to men. They don't say penis. Yeah. No one uses the actual word like that. They don't say that. That was like, who wrote this? You can tell that's writing.
That's why I was like, bro, what are we doing? Anyway, we just said what's real on The Blackening. Follow and subscribe, please. Let's say what's real.